Hi, my name is Caitlin Farnsworth, and I interviewed Ben Science. He's a GIS analyst. GIS stands for Geographic Information System, and he uses that in tandem with ArcMap. ArcMap and ArcGIS are almost the same thing. It's a geospatial processing program where he creates maps to display the data he collects. The company that he works for is a contracted company, and they work for NOAA, which is the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and USGS, which is the U.S. Geological Survey. The current project that he's working on is the Chesapeake Bay shoreline along Maryland and Virginia. And for that, he's doing a lot of reading, just journal articles on the geology of the area, land use, and the coastal and marine-based journals of the area. The data hasn't been updated for 10 years, so the project is kind of updating all the old information. To stay updated, he's trying to look for articles that are more recent within the last 3 years, and he'll use Google Scholar to try and find new articles. So when he's doing his reading and he finds a word he can't pronounce, he'll use Google, Wikipedia, or ask a coworker. If he's unsure of a word's meaning, he'll find textbooks around the office or a reference book. And the methods of reading, he'll do an initial skim of his journals and look at the figures first, try to identify the trends, what's going on, any statistics that are obvious just from looking at it immediately. And then he'll take a look at the title and the abstract and try and find the objective of the paper. Once he finds the objective, he'll try and look through the rest of the paper and see where it most addresses that. And then he'll go to the conclusion to see how they solve their problem. So he kind of breaks it up into a few steps. When he can't find, when he's found something important and it's kind of long-winded, he'll circle it. So in his annotations, he'll either circle a big area of the paper that can be described in one sentence, and then on the side of the paper write what they were trying to say in about one sentence, so that when he returns to the paper, he knows what that important piece is without having to go back and read through the whole thing. If he goes through the paper and doesn't understand it, he'll try and reread the paper slowly, or find the papers that are cited within it and read those to see if it'll help him understand the methods. And as a learner, he says he learns best visually. That's why he likes making maps. So whenever there's a figure or a map in the journals, it really helps him, and really enjoys looking at that to help understand the data. I'm the same way. And he also, when he has a question, listening to someone answer the question will help him understand. He'll learn well that way. As far as writing, so far he hasn't used writing so much, just your basic emails and whatever probably paperwork he had to go through to get the job he has now. But once his project is complete, they'll have a lengthy PDF to turn in and report. So he will be using language and a report style of writing in the next few months. As far as what tools he uses computers daily, so he uses that ArcGIS and ArcMap software every day, and that includes some statistical software. So computers, very important, not so much calculators in his line of work. And it was good. It was good to talk to Ben, get his ideas on how to read scientific papers, because I'll definitely be having my students go through scientific papers, and they can be dense and obtuse sometimes. So being able to have students know that if they don't understand it the first go round, that's okay, and to just try and piece it out, look at the figures first, try and understand the objective, go through the paper, and try and figure out how the authors trying to solve the objective, and in the conclusion, if they were able to solve the objective or not, and then read through the entire paper and see if it makes sense. Hopefully that will be a better way to deconstruct a scientific paper than just reading it front to back. So it was very helpful listening to him, getting some good ideas from him, and understanding how someone might use content literacy in their everyday life. The job he has, I feel like, would be interesting to a lot of people, especially students that are technologically inclined, or interested in maps. So it'll be a good example to use for my students to help motivate them to be able to deconstruct scientific papers.